In Lesson 3 we talked briefly about the benefits of loading the ski into reverse camber. To really get the most out of on-piste performance, you need to be able to fully understand and feel the difference between your turns when you load the ski and when you don't. To recap, loading the ski is when you project your body not just across your skis to start a new turn, but actually forwards and across. The forwards movement added to the across movement puts pressure on the front of the skis and in turn bends the ski into reverse camber. It's called reverse camber because nearly all skis that are made come out of the factory with a camber shape. You can see this when you put the tip and tails of the skis together and the middle of the ski is a few centimetres apart. You can quite easily feel the fore and aft movement on your skis by simply rocking forwards and backwards on them. As you rock forwards, the tails come off the ground. And as you rock backwards, the tips come off the ground. To feel the sensation work when you're actually skiing is not so easy. You have to get the timing right and know exactly how to move your body into the right place at the right time, not just once, but in a continual movement that flows with your ski turns. To help yourself feel the sensation, first try and rehearse the fore and aft rocking on the flat. This will get you used to the body moving forwards and backwards across the entire length of the ski. When you got used to this sensation, try making turns and feeling your body move forwards as well as across the skis. As you project your body in this direction, it will move further down and over the front part of the ski, bending it into reverse camber. It's one of those sensations that shouldn't be rushed or forced. If you push it too much, too soon, you'll end up popping up in the air and losing the power in the turn. As you build up this feeling for the forwards and across movement, you'll notice your feet slightly behind your hips at the start of the turn, and then progressively ride through as you come towards the end of the turn. It's a constant forwards and backwards movement of the hips that leaves the feet behind you at the start of the turn, and then allows them to ride through as the turn steers through. One way of practicing and improving your body management of the forwards projection is developing a forwards thrust traverse. If you practice this manoeuvre with just your arms, it wouldn't do too much to help project and drive the body forwards. However, once the body retains some tension between the arms and the upper body, at the core and mid-body, you can see that the forwards projection movement carries the body forwards and across the slope. If you develop this movement, you'll quickly see how fast it improves the distance you can project yourself. It's a very slight adjustment that you make with timing and muscle coordination that gets the optimum forward thrust. Because you're doing it without having to think of all the other elements of skiing, you can really improve this specific aspect of loading the ski. Once you feel comfortable with the timing and muscle coordination, try measuring the range you can launch on one individual thrust. Develop the range over time and you'll build an excellent dynamic forwards movement for turn initiation when trying to load the ski. One of the biggest problems with most skiers when loading the ski is keeping a constant flow and rhythm. Either at the end or the beginning of a turn, stalling can take place. Stalling is an abrupt end or stop in the process of a continual range of movement. In an ideal world when loading the ski, as you're carving, you could imagine the hips and upper body moving over the skis in a figure of 8. If you had an aerial view above a skier, you'd see the hips project forwards and across smoothly and come back and across the middle and then drive forwards and across to the opposite side, all the time in a continual movement. The figure of 8 has no edges and no stop signs. It's just a continual track where you don't have to slow down or speed up. You could visualize here trying to continually roll a ball around the figure of 8 without it pausing. The less experienced skiers usually stall their range of the figure of 8 movement as it reaches the furthest forwards or backwards area. When it stalls, you can imagine the corners of the figure of 8 being squared off or not as round. This usually happens because most of the focus with ski instruction is simply trying to get the skier to have the confidence and skill to project forwards in the first place. The rest is quite often unexplained. Use this visualization to help develop flow and consistency with loading the ski.